down there, one of the constables. Do you believe, Steve Cortez, given all your analysis of the invasion of the border, do you think that there's grounds to impeach Joe Biden on the activity of the invasion of the southern border, sir?
Oh, 100%. Look, the first and foremost job of government at any level, and particularly the head of the national government, the president, is to protect the sovereignty, the safety, the security of the United States. He has been totally, intentionally derelict in that duty, and he is absolutely subject to impeachment on these grounds, on a very valid impeachment, not the kind of politicized nonsense shams that were perpetrated against President Trump. And I implore the deplorables out there, as well as America First candidates, don't major in the minors. Focus on what matters. It's the two I's, immigration and inflation. Those are the issues for the elections this fall.
I want to go to Ben Berquam now. Ben, you guys have been doing great coverage, Eagle Pass, La Jolla, Texas. You've been up and down the Rio Grande Valley. Tell us where you are today, and that we have a very special guest. I'm going to toss the ball to you, do our interview.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Steve, we're back here in Eagle Pass, Texas. We've been covering this the last couple days and saw groups yesterday, the devastation that this is causing, the garbage and everything else that's coming across the border, literal garbage, just trashing the American side of the border. And right behind us, we have about 15 more that have just shown up. We were here for about a half an hour before Border Patrol was even able to arrive because they're so overwhelmed here. And I have Deputy Constable, Maverick County Deputy Constable Bowles here with me. Deputy Bowles, what is it like? So this is not what you're supposed to be doing. This is not your primary function. What is it as a constable that this is taking you away from?
My primary function is law enforcement within my area, within my precinct, which is Precinct 4 here in Maverick County. Part of Precinct 4 is, part of my area is along the river here. It's part of the county as well. It also happens to be an international border. You know, the state of Texas, also U.S. with Mexico. And we're just being overwhelmed with the number of people coming across. We're having issues within the local communities, within the neighborhoods, people constantly calling us, our community members saying, hey, I've got people coming into my yards, you know, people getting into unoccupied homes, people getting into houses. We're having issues of human smuggling operations, people having stash houses that we get tips on constantly. We just raided one over the weekend where we found a large group of undocumented persons, and it's causing a lot of it's several issues. One, we've got an environmental issue. There's a lot of trash up and down along the border that's being left behind. Number two, it's a humanitarian issue. We have the people that are coming across, they're risking their lives. Just yesterday, there were 2 small children that almost drowned here. Thank goodness they did it. Just last week, I was posted out here. We had a deceased person, you know, unfortunate. I mean, I don't mean to be gruesome about it, but this is happening every day. Every day there's people coming across, and there's people not making it. They're dying, literally. They're coming across, they're getting hurt, they're getting injured. We're having to attend to them. Some of them are malnourished, some of them are dehydrated. They're coming from very long distances, and the stories I'm getting from them is they're coming up through Mexico, and unfortunately a lot of them, they're being treated very badly by Mexican authorities. They're literally being extorted by Mexican authorities. And they come here, and they're so happy to come here, but it's because they feel like they're going to get a fair shake here. And I understand, you know, we're all human beings, and you know, we're the United States of America. You know, we're a free country, but we have laws, and people have to abide by the laws. And it seems like for the past year, 2 years, we've just had an open door for people to come in, and it's creating all sorts of different issues, and it's creating a huge burden on law enforcement, on us, because we're getting called constantly. 90% of my focus right now is doing this, and it's taking away from my basic law enforcement function, which is my primary duty, and we don't have the resources. You know, Border Patrol is doing their part. You know, there are our federal law enforcement brothers and sisters. The state is out here trying to do their part, but there's only so many of us. And we're trying at the same time to provide service to our communities and trying to help them out. And I mean, we're human beings as well. You know, I see children coming across. I'm a parent. I have 2 sons, and it hurts me. Just last week, there were 2 little girls that came across on the company, and they were They came across in the morning. They were cold. They were wet. They're terrified. They don't have their parents with them. I mean, it's very sad. And I basically had to stay with them and safeguard them, because who knows what's happened to them? Who knows what they've experienced traveling all the way? They were from Guatemala, and they came up the whole way. You know, they're telling me they were by themselves.
Yeah.
So what they experience is going to affect them for the rest of their lives. And this is just, you know, it's terrible what's happening.
Let me ask you, and that's not even getting into the cartels that were enriching and emboldening through this whole process, but what happens when Title 42 goes away?
When Title 42 goes away, just to give you an example, the intel, the word that we've been getting as local law enforcement, we don't get a lot, but there's roughly about 7,000 people in the sister city of Eagle Pass and Piedras Negras waiting to cross right now. And coming up from the southern border of Mexico, there's that 150, 170,000 group caravan that's coming up, and they're crossing daily. Here, you know, I'm posted here because this is a dangerous crossing. We've had to do water rescues, the Border Patrol getting in there. The National Guard is doing an excellent job. They're doing their best, and they've had to rescue people out of the water. We've had to help them out of the water. And all these people coming through come April 1st, I mean, it's going to get out of hand. It's really, really going to get out of hand. Border Patrol, they're stretched to their limits, you know, and they know it too as well. But we're just trying to do our best, that's all. But it's going to be like a floodgate opening. And you're going to see people coming across. Right now we're averaging last week about maybe 25 to 50 an hour coming across, you know, several hundred in the 8 to 10 hours that I'm down here. And this is just one area. It's not just here, it's all up and down the border. It's everywhere. And that's not to mention others, the ones that are not getting caught or the ones not turning themselves in, which unfortunately they have criminal histories, and that's why they don't want to turn themselves in. So that's another issue altogether. But Title 42, if they do away with it, it's going to open a floodgate, and it's going to get a lot worse. We're going to be seeing more people crossing. Unfortunately, we're probably going to see people getting hurt. Hopefully we won't be seeing that many people lose their lives trying to cross the border, but it's going to happen. It's a reality.
Ben, I want to make sure that, look, nothing more powerful than that. I want to thank the Deputy Constable. Can you please give your social media so people can follow you all day? Ben Burquam, Real America's Voice in Eagle Pass, Texas, at this human tragedy.
Yes, sir.
And want to thank the Deputy Constable. What's your social media?
AmericasVoice.news, FrontlineAmerica.com, and then I'm doing lives on Getter throughout the day, and it's at Ben Burquam.
So go to Getter, get Burquam, at Ben Burquam. You got to watch this. There'll be other interviews you're doing. Thank the constable for giving us the truth.
He hears you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for reporting this. I mean, it's really, nobody is reporting on this, and this is what's happening to us here on the border. Every day, all day long, all day, all night. Not just here, everywhere along the border here in Texas.
Thank you, sir. Honored to have you on here. Cortez, Kobach, Miller, this is a disgrace.